time for an update. Yes, I have blown my 50K TopStep funded, but I want to talk about why it's probably the best thing that could have happened. I'll explain that in a second. Now, just as you can see here, obviously with TopStep, if you use them before, you can reactivate these accounts. Now, the last time I reactivated this account was back in November 2025. So I've had it November, December, January, February, basically 4 months I've had this. And I went through quite a journey with this account, still wasn't able to take a payout. I was eligible for a payout. I had the balance, and I've got it documented on the channel here, balance of about 600 and something. I think I could take out a payout of like 330 bucks. And I was looking good. I was like, look, I'll aim for a balance of 1K. I've said it on my videos. I don't want to take a payout until I hit a balance of 1K. I want my payout to at least be 500 US. Ran about that at least, to have it, mean something of significance to me. So I was at a balance of about 660 bucks. Probably only needed like one trade to get to that. Didn't end up taking a payout, and then it was just, to be honest, pretty downhill from there. But I want to talk about why this, like me blowing this account, is super important in a number of ways. One is because it's taught me one very valuable lesson, and that is to not put so much emphasis, or not put so much, importance on one funded account. And I'm going to talk about why, because I made a trade literally just earlier when I couldn't, I was having like 6 losing days in a row, 7 losing days in a row, and I had that multiple times on the funded. So I'd have like a good winning day where I'd win like 600, 800 bucks. And my maximum losses for my losing days would be like maybe 200 bucks, 250, sometimes 300 bucks. But it would be like 5 days in a row, 6 days in a row. And this happened like 2 or 3 times in a row, right? And it's funny because up until I'd just blown my account here, up until this point, I couldn't find myself even getting like a winning trade. And I was like, what is going on here? And it forced me, after I blew the account, because I was pretty much like, I took a trade this morning and I was kind of like at the point, because I'd only had about maybe 100, 150 bucks, I think maximum 200 of drawdown left. And I was kind of at the point where I had accepted that I was most likely going to blow this account if this trade didn't go my way, right? And the trade didn't go my way and basically ended up blowing the account. And I thought, look, this is going to teach me something. So I went back to my trades that I was making, let's say like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And I was looking at them and I was going, I was banging out these trades. It was like I didn't give it a second thought. And I realized that some of them were on my funded account, some of them were on my eval account on TopStep. And I was looking at these trades going, I was just banging them out left, right, and center. And these are trades that I would maybe hesitate to take on my funded. And one thing I realized was that, yes, I was putting too much importance on this account because it was a funded account that I've held for so long. And I was just focusing on, really at the end of the day, I was like, I need this payout. I need this payout. I want to at least take a payout. And I wasn't focusing on the process. And I was targeting trades where the risk to reward was just way too big, like trying to go for these bigger risk to rewards instead of just targeting what I knew was working, where I'd just target the immediate week high or the immediate week low in my system. And I was looking at my old trades and I was thinking, I was just banging these out and they looked really easy. And that's what the trading's meant to be, right? Case in point, I'm going to talk about the trade that I made literally just before on the new combine that I have, right? And I had this combine in backup. I was working on the funded, but I've got 2 trading combines. This is the newest one. This is the very first trade that I took on this account. And bang, straight up, right? It was 1.6, so I ended up taking profit around here, okay? And it was like, I'd learned a lot about this, and I said to myself, these are trades that I should be making all the time, just really easy to pick up trades, right? We failed to hit these highs. This is on MNQ, by the way. Okay, so last night we had this. We had quite a big drop. If we go to, let's say, the 15-minute here, okay, we had a huge spike here. This was in New York session, and we had a very big drop. And in my mind, watching this today, we failed to hit this high multiple times. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, and fifth one. And on that fifth one, we go down to 3 minute because I think this is where I executed it. We had this big. I think I actually executed right on here. Okay, on this big candle. After I had that big rejection candle on the 3 minute, I thought, look, that's my entry, and I was just targeting this weak low. Now, before, what I was doing on my funded was I was targeting something extreme. Like I was targeting down here. I wanted these big trades, and I've got to realize that in order to make this work, this is all I need to do, right? To pass these accounts consistently, to make payouts consistently. If I did this exact same trade 4, 5 times a week, I would secure this payout. And this was like a simple trade, right? I was even considering, once it got down to this point, if we look at the 2 minute here, I was even considering we had this sweep here, which I marked out. Well, not this sweep, it was a no close here. And I could have entered off of this candle or this candle here and just ridden the high. And I would have banged out 2 trades, and that would have actually put me up at like $500-600 for the day. So me blowing this funded account, if you've been in a similar position, this is what I want you to know, because this has really helped me. It's actually cleared up a lot for me because I was struggling so much on this funded. It made me realize that I was, 1, putting too much importance on my funded account. 2, I was actually just in my own head about the exact same trades that I'd usually make, right? And I was thinking to myself, it was so funny. I had about, I would like to say maybe like 6, 7, 8 losses in a row, like individual trades, losses on the funded. I come on to a new fresh eval. It's like in the back of my mind, I didn't have the pressure of like keeping the balance up and not blowing the account, or not even that, just trying to get to the balance and take a payout. And I just took this trade, right? I risked like 150, $200 on this trade, ended up making 200. So it would have been 400 if it hit down here, but I ended up taking profits around here so it was around here when the reversal came. So it came down to this low, and I took profits at around this candle here because it began reversing, and I thought, look, we're actually, we haven't closed below, so I'll take profits here. And still ended up being around $200. But it's just funny to me that we go to the P&L here on the very first trade of this account. Okay, the very first trade of this account, we're up already. We're up already on this account. And it's just a big mental thing for me when it comes to fundeds. And I think it's because my reasoning is because I've passed 2 fundeds now. So I had Funded X, which was early on in my when I first started trading back in around about October last year. Passed that in the first month, blew it in the first 24 hours. I did not know what I was doing. I have a much better idea of what I'm doing now. That's why I kept the funded for like 4 months. This is with TopStep, and I ended up blowing that account, obviously, as you can see today. But the thing is that I was just putting too much importance on these. And to my point before, it's because I've passed funded before, but I haven't taken a payout yet. I'm yet to take a payout and yet to actually have money hit my account from trading. And I think that's been the biggest mental block for me in overcoming just taking these simple trades like this on the funded, right? So my plan moving forward from here is obviously I've got 2 accounts. I do have another combine which is down. It's in drawdown at the moment, about $700, and I was in the same mentality with my funded with this account. So I've got this as a follow account to this one, and what my focus is just going to be is just to keep this account, keep this one as the leader, just have 2 combines. I'll at least pass this one, try and pass this one, and I'll try and pass the second one as well. But the thing is now, when I have my other funded, like once I get funded again, because it's only a matter of time now, once I get funded again, I just keep in my mind that all I need to do is just do the exact same trades like what I've done today. Keep it really simple, right? I like executing on the lower time frame because I'm not waiting hours and hours. Like this trade took, so this was around 220, and it took what? An hour, not even an hour. These are trades that I like to take, where if I was targeting like bigger risk to rewards, where if I was to take this long and target like this high up here somewhere, all the way up here, that would take hours and hours and hours. And I'm someone who actually prefers to take shorter trades that are like maybe around an hour. I'm okay with holding trades around like 4 or 5 hour mark, but the thing is that these are just higher percentage to work for me. And that's just what I've got to remember. Like I can take trades like this. It doesn't have to hit, like it didn't even hit my full TP. It hit halfway and I still am up $200, right? So a lot of lessons learned. And I'd say just to help you out, if you are someone who has maybe blown fundeds before, blown a lot of fundeds, mate, there's a lot of people out there that have blown way more fundeds than me. I've blown two in my lifetime. And one of them was, I would say, when I first started, I'd say complete gambling. But this one here, I think it was just more of a mental block, right? I'm not someone that revenge trades a lot, but I will say I was getting quite tilted at the way I was trading, right? Because it was almost like a rut that I couldn't get out of. And me blowing this account made me go back and look at my other trades and realize what I was doing wrong. Like it actually took me blowing my account to realize what I was doing wrong. And it was just a really simple fix in my eyes, and just targeting a higher percentage of a trade like that has a high percentage to win, right? Instead of targeting these big risk rewards, just do stuff like this. That's all I need to do, right? And make it really simple. There wasn't much thought that went into this trade. Well, there was, obviously, there was analysis, but I didn't have to overthink it. And now, in my mind, I'm looking at the charts a lot differently already. So I'm thinking, okay, we are now continuing to go bullish. It looks like we're going to break this high. Okay, the next possible high would be this one here. So I'm going to look for something similar to this, where we'll come up. Okay, and I'll draw it out here. These are kinds of trades that I'm really looking at, right? We might come up here. Okay, we'll come up, and then we might come up something like this, right? Maybe we might sweep here, and then we go up again. And all I need to target is this here. When we sweep, so say we create a low here, I target this high, okay? Put my stops under here, so if we actually zoom in, this is all I need to do, right? So let's just say we come here, we sweep this low, okay? Just say this low is down here, where my entry point is. We sweep this low, I cover the low here, and then I just target the immediate weak high. That's the system that I follow, and that's all I need to do, right? Just keep it really simple. Don't have these huge trades where I'm trying to target up here, right? Because I don't even know if it's not confirmed, right? It's actually a high percentage play to target the immediate weak high or the immediate weak low, whatever it is. Like this one, target the immediate weak low. Before I would have targeted all the way down here somewhere, and it just wouldn't have made sense, right? I basically would have kept holding, hit break even, and then I would have made another trade, which was just a terrible, terrible trade, lower percentage than this, because I would have been maybe a little bit annoyed at the break even. And really, in reality, I just need to keep it simple. Okay, so yeah, lessons learned from here. If you're someone that has either just blown their funded, or they're blown multiple fundeds, or you can't seem to get ahead, use this as an opportunity to look at where you're going wrong. Okay, I know for a fact now that it's just a mental block for me when it comes to fundeds versus evaluation accounts, and I just need to not put so much importance on it. I need to act as though the funded account, once I become funded again, is just the exact same as an evaluation account. I trade the same, I take the same setups, even if it's just base hits. Like if I just do this every single day, okay, let's get the calculator out here. Okay. TopStep only needs you to do $150 profit days for 5 days before you get a payout. So let's say I do 200, okay, times 5 days. That's $1,000. I've hit my balance of $1,000, and all I've done is trades like this, which is really simple. It makes me laugh so much just because it's taken me to actually blow the account to just realize this simple stuff, and it feels like a big turning point for me. So I'm not actually annoyed that I've blown the account, because I think I needed to. Sounds weird to say, but look, if you're new to this channel and my videos, I'm still quite new to this, and partly, like, I'm not trying to make that as an excuse, but I've really only been actually trading on prop firms and on the markets. Before that, it was just with paper trading, like demo accounts. I really only started trading back in October, maybe middle of October. So if we do October, November, December, January, and February. So after February, it'd be 5 months in total. And that was including my learning. Like, I didn't learn anything before that. I learned basically from maybe like half a month before that. I was learning. I didn't know anything. Like, I didn't know anything about the charts. I didn't know about contract sizes. I didn't know about position and sizing. I didn't know what futures were. Like, I had no idea. I didn't really know how to read candlesticks or anything like that. So very, very new. And I know that people, like, even just to get to the point that I'm at of just passing fundeds, some people take like 2, 3 years. So I'm not trying to compare myself, but I've got to think, look, I'm not doing badly, right? Like, to get to the point where I was actually able to take a payout, I just didn't. To be at that point, I'm actually thinking to myself now, okay, it's not bad, right? So yeah, I'm gonna keep updating you guys. One thing I want to mention as well is I've heard there's a couple of people out there, a few people out there that say that as a beginner trader, you shouldn't document your way to profitability. And look, I think, and I've got a couple of people in mind that are saying that, and they're saying that it's only going to hurt your progress if you are showing it to the world instead of just focusing on the trading. Now, I think that's true for someone who's younger. I'm someone who's dealt with money before. I'm someone who already runs a business, multiple businesses, and has run multiple businesses in the past. Has made money online. I'm a little bit older. I'm 30. I think that's true if you are someone who is working a normal 9 to 5. You're maybe like 19 years old, 20 years old, maybe 21. You're a lot younger. I feel like I've got a bit more of a mental capacity, and I really have a huge passion for this and just the whole process. And I want to build the whole goal of this. I'm rambling on here. The video will finish in a sec, but I just wanted to say, like, the reason I'm building this is because I want undeniable proof that by the time I'm actually, really, a really not just like a confident trader, but a consistent trader, consistently profitable trader, I have this whole thing documented, and I can take you along the journey with me, and I can just show from literally the ground up what is possible with this. Huge passion of mine, and I'm just going to keep going with this, right? I know some people might think that it's bad for beginners to do this. I'm just doing it because I want to. Right? That's the main thing. If it adds a bit more pressure, that's fine. It adds a bit more pressure, right? I think that you need to do what you know is true to you, what you're passionate about, and really stick to, like, if trading is something that you really want to do it. If you don't want to make content, don't make content. If you want to make content, you feel like it's something that you really want to do, don't listen to other people who say that you shouldn't. I really want to make content about this, and I'm super passionate about it, so I'm going to keep making videos. But anyway, I'll keep you guys updated. Next goal from here is going to be to pass this combine, get funded again. This time, just keep these trades. Just keep doing that. That's all I need to do, right? Keep it simple. If you blow your funded accounts, don't stress. Use it as a learning curve. Hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you're watching. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.